With Allen Hurns and Albert Wilson opting out, are the Dolphins going to bring in another wide receiver? What is up, Finn fans? Yes, if you can tell by the title, we are going to be talking about, will the Miami Dolphins bring in another wide receiver? Again, you guys, I'm recording this Thursday night. You guys are watching this in a premiere. How y'all doing? Noon on a Friday. So someone might have already gotten signed by this point, but I thought, hey, let's talk about it. Maybe I can pull a Notre Damus and predict who they bring in before they actually bring them in. But before we jump into that, again, tomorrow, Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, your boy is going to be live. Come hang out. We could talk more about this. We could talk more about the season coming up. A ton of stuff. So tomorrow at 1 p.m. I will be live. And one other thing that I'm going to show you before we jump into this and jump into some Miami Dolphin news. I got this video right here that was posted on Twitter. And it's a beautiful thing seeing Tua run with some resistance behind him. And that hip looks just fine. But yes, like I said, the Dolphins made some roster moves yesterday. Again, I am recording this Thursday night. And what they did is they waived Javaris Davis, the cornerback that they brought in from waivers. And they also activated Malcolm Perry and Zach Seiler off of the reserve list. Again, the reserve list doesn't mean that you tested positive. You could be in the vicinity of somebody who did test positive, and that is the case for Malcolm Perry and Zach Seiler. So Malcolm Perry was only on the reserve list for 2 days because you have to have 2 negatives in within 2 days, then you come off. So, and Malcolm Perry also, he was donating antibodies for this. But unfortunately, 6 other players were added to that list. And those 6 players were Raekwon Davis, Benito Jones, Brandon Jones, Solomon Kinley, Shaq Lawson, and Kirk Merritt. So it's a lot of names going on there. I expect them to be off by what? Today's Friday, Sunday. They'll be off because it's a 2-day thing. You got to be tested negative for 2 days, and then you're off the list. I honestly see that happening. But it brings up a little discussion that I want to talk about, and I'm interested in seeing what you guys have to say below. This is a big thing. Say this happens Friday. Actually, no, they should be off tomorrow because this happened on Thursday, so they should be off Saturday. Again, I'm forgetting when I'm recording this. Say this does happen on Friday. Right? Say a big chunk, 6 players get put on that reserve list on a Friday. Will they be available and off that list by game time on Sunday? Or what if this happens on Saturday? How will that affect the team? How will that affect the team, in being prepared for the game? This is a huge thing that the NFL and a lot of people need to realize when it comes to the NFL and these teams. If Dolphins lost Raekwon Davis, Benito Jones, Brandon Jones, Solomon Kinley, Shaq Lawson, Kirk Merritt, right? The only starter projected on there is Shaq Lawson. Not that big of a hit, but what if at the time these guys are all, Solomon Kinley's the starting right guard, Raekwon Davis is just disruptive. He's leading the rookie defensive guys in sacks. We can all wish. Brandon Jones is out there. He's doing better than Bobby McCain, doing his thing. Benito Jones, Shaq Lawson also killing up that defensive line. Kirk Merritt comes out and has a Preston Williams type season, and he's one of our top producing wide receivers. All of a sudden, boom, 6 guys might not play on Sunday because we need 2 days of them testing negative. The whole 2 days of them testing negative thing is a training camp situation, a training camp rule. I don't know what it'll entail when the season starts, but something like this happening where all of a sudden 6 Dolphins go on this list, and again, doesn't mean they tested positive. It could mean that they're in the vicinity of somebody who did test positive. It does make you wonder what would happen come the season. So just something to ponder, and I'm interested to read what you guys had to say below. But let's jump into what you guys want to talk about because you see what the title is, right? So Allen Hurns and Albert Wilson opted out on the season. And in both videos of them opting out, it was a good 50-50, I would say maybe 70-30 of, people upset. Why are they opting out? They're babies, this, and that. And some people saying, good for them. Take care of your family, this, and that. I'm not, I've had discussions with you guys below in the comment section. I love having discussions with you guys below in the comment section. And I will say every discussion I've had with you guys below in the comment section has been nothing but respectful to me, and obviously I'm back to you. And at the end of the conversation, we might not agree, but we all have respect for each other, and we can continue being fans, hopefully continue being subscribed and all that stuff. So I just want to say real quick before I jump into this, I thank you guys so much for being respectful in the comment section. And even if you have a difference of opinion from me, still being respectful, us still being able to have a conversation, open my eyes to things. Hopefully I open your eyes to things, and we can still be cordial and be Miami Dolphins brothers and sisters. So I do appreciate that. But back to the fact of the matter, I had to throw that in there real quick. Allen Hurns, Albert Wilson decide to opt out. Also, a lot of you guys are wondering, hey, does that mean Albert Wilson will be a free agent next year? No, his contract is pushed to 2021. So essentially, he would have been a free agent next year, but now he's a free agent in 2022, unless the Dolphins decide to cut him in the offseason next year, which is a possibility. But it is, I think, a $2 million dead cap hit. So with these guys now opting out, it takes the Miami Dolphins wide receiving core from 10 wide receivers down to 8. And a lot of people are wondering, and there was an article out by Barry Jackson wondering, hey, are the Miami Dolphins going to bring somebody in? Are the Miami Dolphins going to bring in a veteran? There are some big name vets out there that the Miami Dolphins can potentially bring in. Now, as of yesterday, the Miami Dolphins brought in 2 wide receivers to work them out and put them through physicals. One of them is Chester Rogers, and the other one is a familiar name you guys should hear, Ricardo Lewis, who, yes, the Miami Dolphins did waive on July 25th with Jake Ruddick. So is it a potential to bring him back? I'm predicting as of right now, as if you guys watching this, we're 5-6 minutes in at 12:06, 12:08. I'm predicting that the Miami Dolphins are going to bring back Ricardo Lewis, and he's going to be one of the wide receivers that the Dolphins are going to bring back. Am I right? Am I wrong? Has that happened yet? I don't know. If it does, spam the comment section and the chat saying, oh my gosh, Doug, you're a psychic. But I honestly think Ricardo Lewis is one of the wide receivers that the Miami Dolphins will bring back. So there's that, right? And looking at the available free agents, let's just address that big old gray elephant in the room. Antonio Brown. You're going to hear that the Miami Dolphins are interested in Antonio Brown. The Dolphins aren't interested in Antonio Brown. Take it from me, a guy that works in the organization. I wish I worked in the organization. That was just a joke. Take it from me, a guy who analyzes the crap out of the Miami Dolphins because it's my love and my passion. Dolphins aren't bringing in Antonio Brown. And if they do bring in Antonio Brown, it will blow my socks back on my feet because at this point in the night, I don't have any socks on my feet. Antonio Brown's going to be suspended for 8 games. The Miami Dolphins, if they're trying to do anything, why would you not want your wide receiver for 8 games? That would just be pointless. So no, the Miami Dolphins aren't bringing in Antonio Brown. And if you hear that the Dolphins are interested in bringing in Antonio Brown, just ignore it because it ain't happening. But there's also another list of potential wide receivers the Dolphins could bring in, right? Paul Richardson, Jordan Matthews, Javaris Wright, Tavon Austin, Des Bryant, Taylor Gabriel, and Chris Hogan, a.k.a. 7-Eleven, if you guys know who that is from the 2012 Hard Knocks. Looking at this list, right, they're not going to bring in Des Bryant. It's another situation where the Dolphins are building young, and the Dolphins want young guys to come in and prove that they are good enough and do their thing, right? If the Dolphins were to bring in another outside wide receiver, and I will talk about whether I think they will or not, I honestly think it'd probably be like a Taylor Gabriel. I don't know why I couldn't get his name out. Someone like that, or Chris Hogan, someone younger that still has a lot of upside. But again, you want my God's honest opinion, this is what I think is going to happen. And I already said it before. I think the Dolphins will bring back Ricardo Lewis. So there's my prediction. But you look at the roster, right? So they bring back Ricardo Lewis. Then they have 9 wide receivers on the team. They got Preston Williams, Devontae Parker, and Jakeem Grant projected starters, 3 starters, right? Then they have Kirk Merritt and Matt Cole, undrafted guys. And they have Gary Jennings, Matt Collins, and Isaiah Ford. Those guys, those 5, Kirk Merritt, Matt Cole, Gary Jennings, Matt Collins, and Isaiah Ford, aren't slouches, right? If you're a Bills fan, a Jets fan, a Patriots fan, a Ravens fan, any other NFL team, and I said those names to you, you'd go like this. They're garbage. You think you can win with those wide receivers? But us being Dolphin fans, knowing that they're going to be on our team, we did extensive research, watch their college film, and see that they have a ton of promise, especially Kirk Merritt, who we all think is going to make the roster. And I thought he was going to make the roster before two of our wide receivers opted out. So I don't want to hear it. But I honestly think that the Dolphins will bring back Ricardo Lewis, and I think that will probably be about it. Knowing Brian Flores will probably bring in a corner. Like you said, you can never have enough corners. But I think they'll run with those 9. And I think they'll have these younger guys compete to, become a starter. I think Kirk Merritt, I said this, I think Kirk Merritt and Matt Cole are going to make the roster. I really do. But I wouldn't be surprised if they did bring in a vet. I would be surprised if they brought in like a Des Bryant or an Antonio Brown. I would be genuinely surprised with that. But I will say, I'll throw another name out there that it piqued my interest. And I'm half serious. I'm about 25% serious and 75% joking. But there's this tweet. Chad Johnson wants to come back. Why not? Come on. I'm joking. Am I joking? I'm joking. Am I joking? That's what I think. That's what I think about the Dolphins potentially bringing in a veteran wide receiver. I think Ricardo Lewis is going to he's going to come back. I think he was cut because the Dolphins needed to get down to 81. And I honestly think maybe by the time you're watching this, or maybe a little bit after, they will bring Ricardo Lewis back. But comment below. I'm really interested in what you guys have to say. I'm really interested in what you guys have to say about the wide receivers. Do you think the Miami Dolphins are going to go out and bring in a big name wide receiver? Do you think they'll trade for one? I didn't really talk about that, but I don't think they will trade for a wide receiver because they do have good talent on that starting 3. But do you think they potentially would use a later round pick, 7th, maybe 6th, to trade for a potential up-and-coming wide receiver? Comment below. I'm very interested in what you guys have to say about that. Like I said, I love having conversations with you guys below. I love reading some of your guys' comments. They make me laugh so hard. So thank you for that. And I'm going to get to one of you guys' comments of the day. Now, this comment comes from Speedballer, and he says, Doug, with the young talent we got this year on D-line, players like Tyshawn Render, Curtis Weaver, Benito Jones, which player gets pushed out this season or next season because of the salary cap? That is a very good question, Speedballer. The Miami Dolphins are setting themselves up with success when it came to the way they signed their free agents this offseason. They essentially gave them a 1 or 2 year guaranteed slot of money. Then after that, they can move on with them and hope that their draft picks that they did this year and next year actually start to flourish into stars. And then all of a sudden you get rid of those free agents and you have these young guys like you named, Tyshawn Render, Curtis Weaver, Benito Jones, take over that spot for cheaper money. So it's a very smart move that the Dolphins did that they haven't done in the past. Like you guys know, in the past, the Dolphins will go out and they will sign big, fat contracts because they think they're one spot away. Now what the Dolphins did is they brought in 4, most of the signings that the Dolphins brought in with Agba, with Shaq Lawson, with Eric Flowers. These are guys that are coming off their rookie contract. This is the 5th contract. They 5th year in the NFL is with the Dolphins. And like I said, most of them have a 1 to 2 year guaranteed slot in cash. After that, the Dolphins can move on with them. So you'll see that. You'll see, and this is what I'm talking about with the, a youth movement and building for the future and having a consistent success is doing this, is bringing in these types of players. Hope, obviously you can't really guarantee that you're going to hit on all your draft picks, but hope that you hit on most of your draft picks so that when these vets contracts are up or when these vets guaranteed money are up, if you got the young guys playing better, you can either trade or move on from them and save a lot of cap. It's another thing that is a situation that the Dolphins are in right now, and a lot of teams are. I'm going to add a little ending to this and feed off of your comments, Speedballer. With opt-outs, that means that that those contracts are null and void for this season. Again, they get pushed. They get pushed to the next season. So essentially, the Dolphins, I think, off the top of my head, have about $7 million extra cash and in their cap space because of Allen Hurns and Albert Wilson deciding to opt out and push their contract the next year. Because I think Allen Hurns was due $4 million this year, and I think, again, this is off the top of my dome, Albert Wilson was due about $4 million, so probably about $8 million, give or take. So the Dolphins are sitting at about $20 million again in cap space. So that is another thing you got to think about when it comes to bringing in wide receivers. It's going to be a one-year guy, but also when you're looking at contracts too, and you're looking at people that are potentially signing players and all that stuff, Dolphins probably aren't going to do anything big and crazy like that because they want to, yes, they got the money back from these players, but they might want to carry it over to next year because the players will be back, and then it'll be like nothing ever happened. But yeah, what do you guys think? Like I said before, comment below about the wide receivers. But Speedball had a very good question. I'm interested in what you guys have to think. Do you think that what I said is going to happen, that the Dolphins are essentially signing free agents to prepare the younger guys to take over their position? That's how the NFL is. It's called the NFL, and a lot of people like to call it the not for long league because you got younger guys nipping at your heels when you're vets. But so be sure to comment below. Very interested in what you have to say about that. But that's the video. If you like what you're hearing, if you like what you're seeing, hit that subscribe button. Be sure to hit the like button. It lets me know, hey, Doug, we like these types of videos, especially because these types of videos I get to edit and do all these fancy things with pop-ups and all that stuff. So be sure to hit that thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. But also be sure to follow me on Twitter. That's where I'm the most active on Twitter. When things break on Twitter, I'm very active there, and I do come here, so be sure to check the community, and I do make stories. So if you're on your mobile phone, you see my circle, I make stories to let you guys know what the plan is for the day. But be sure to go over, follow me on Twitter, fansoffannetwork.com. We are going to be launching the Twitch stream very, very soon. We're going to do a prime time release of it with all of the content creators that are on there, all the YouTubers, the NFL YouTubers. I will give you guys a definite date on that. I think we are shooting for August 16th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I will give you a definite time on that. Also, check out DolphinsTalk.com. My content's on there as well. Great Dolphins website with a ton of Dolphin content on there. But other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're talking Miami Dolphins. We're chatting it up. So I hope to see you guys tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, I'm still doing the Q&A video. You probably guys are asking, hey, but you said you were doing a Q&A video. When this stuff happened, I was like, let me talk about this. I will be doing the Q&A video Sunday. I'm going to do it Sunday. Okay? I promise you guys, Sunday Q&A video. Look out for that. If you guys want to try to get your questions in, you know where to do it, either on my Twitter in the tweet that I asked for it, or go to the community and put it there. But other than that, like I said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. But like usual, stay classy. You guys are, though. I appreciate the heck out of that. Like I said, super classy. But stay classy. And fins up.